Hey everyone, back for another faith and science video, and this time I'd like to, review a little bit of what we talked about in the first one, and then kind of begin to develop what it is that I'd like to do with these videos that I mentioned the first time. And as you recall, I talked about the two-eye metaphor, that if one eye is faith and the other eye is science, the two together give us a little better view of reality, since one alone misses some depth, misses some of the relief that the two together provide. And so it's not that the two are trying to defend themselves to each other. And I guess that's one of the things that I see so much of is that faith is often trying to defend itself to science. And sometimes scientists need to, or are trying to defend themselves to the faith crowd. And as someone who enjoys both and really wants the two to be working together, I don't think that's necessary. It's like my right eye does not need to apologize to the left eye for what it's seeing. In fact, it wants to hear what the left eye is seeing, and the left eye wants to see and know what the right eye is seeing. And so that the two together give a better view of reality. So that's what we've been doing. And I think what I'm going to call these videos is cross realm. So that you have the realm of revelation in creation, which science can observe and draw conclusions from. And then you have the revelation in faith, through faith, that is also an important revelation. And it's those two together, those two realms. And so the cross realm, which is the stereo vision of those two, that give us a little stronger view of reality. That's the premise that I'm working on. So this week, I wanted to look at Psalm 8, because here we find kind of a scientist in Scripture, and it's in this psalm that the psalmist is looking up at the night sky, and he sees the stars and the moon that have been placed there, and asks this question: what is a human being that you, God, are mindful of? And in the Hebrew there is this concept of the psalmist is contemplating. Is actually thinking about what the psalmist is seeing. And in thinking about it, is kind of overwhelmed that they have a sense of meaning, given their position in the cosmos. And then the sense that God is concerned for the psalmist. And what's interesting to me about this is that the science realm, our astronomers, those who are pursuing the stars and the moon and Mars right now, and so on, they have spent incredible energy and money to develop ways to see those things, to actually get there, to build spaceships that could deal with radiation from the sun and actually deliver a person to some of these places. And there is a sense in which they're both exploring our place in this universe. So the scientist and the psalmist, I would kind of say, I wonder how different they really are. Both are kind of looking at the sky and saying, why do I matter? The theologian says, why do I matter? Because they believe they do. The non-theologian, perhaps a scientist, saying, I feel like this matters and I'm going to pursue it. And that's the tricky thing, is it's difficult for humans in either realm to not live as though their life has meaning. And I think that's just a little clue to how this cross-realm thinking can work. So I think we have to quickly recognize the contributions of science in the last 500 years, especially with Copernicus recognizing that we are not a geocentric universe where everything is revolving around the Earth. He posited the heliocentric. Of course, Galileo carries that on and champions it. And then there's even later science that would say, actually, heliocentrism is true within our solar system, but even our sun is not the center of the universe, let alone the center of our galaxy. And our galaxy is not at the center of the universe either. So as the theological side takes all this in, it's recognizing that the two together explore the deeper question of, why do I matter? The science side informs the faith side by saying it is vast. In fact, I don't think the psalmist even knew how vast the universe was when the psalmist asked the question. And the psalmist is informing the science side by saying that sense of meaning that you have, that you can't escape, that you want to arrive at the stars, you want to go to Mars, you want to go back to the moon. That sense that that will mean something is rooted in something that comes from the faith side. And so these two together give us an even deeper view of reality. And so I think I'll hashtag cross-realm, something like that. And if you have something that is sort of a cross-realm revelation to yourself, please share it. I'd love to hear what that is, and maybe even develop it my own, because it's kind of fun to take those ideas and work with them. One of the comments last week was to the first video I did, came from a friend of mine that I've enjoyed sharing the stage with, Rachel, and she said, if you want to see God, look at science. And I thought that was such an interesting comment, because it brings these two together in kind of a quick few word statement. So again, I don't think these two have to apologize to one another. They are in fact enhancing one another in the same way that our eyes work together to see things better. So that's my thought. The psalmist and the scientist, what's the difference? I'm not sure there is much of a difference. They are exploring a deep sense of meaning, and each one informs the other as to how deep the question is and how deep that meaning might be. Thanks much. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.